Okay, Tom, we'll be talking about research docs, new improvement.
Yeah. Good afternoon to you. I have to comment on your handsome new headphones. You knew I wasn't going to let that go. They
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
look great,
yeah. They look okay, right?
Yeah. See, these are mine.
Oh,
These
yeah, yeah.
they are, go on your temples, and that way your ears are not obstructed. I use it if I'm listening to music in the car, something like that.
Hmm.
Just most places, it's actually against the law to ride down the road with your ears. Uh,
But I guess
but
I was getting old. I'm getting the hearing loss or something because I cannot hear, and it becomes like I'm speaking too loud. And then only after I can hear, oh, jeez, this has been too loud. Why I cannot hear myself? But now I can hear the volume of my speaking. It's kind of sharp, so I don't need to raise my voice.
Right. Well, here's a tip for our viewers is the reason you sound horrible in karaoke is that you can't hear yourself sing.
Oh,
So
is
the way
that
they
how I
set it
sound?
up,
Is
yeah.
that how I sound?
No, yeah, well, you sound great in the karaoke now. But I found that out because I love karaoke. My wife hates it, so we never go. But
My wife loves it too, so she's a singing actually pretty good in karaoke.
yeah. So, but you have to be able to hear yourself sing. If you can't hear yourself sing, that's why you sound weird.
Yeah, and that's why I was sounding weird before. So let's start now with the better sound, and we're going to take a look in the new research doc that we implemented now. The huge improvement, major improvement, and even the last couple of days I've been struggling trying to bring all the bugs, and there was some complaints because we have to move our research docs to the new level. There are
Okay.
two biggest updates, which are the first on the right side. We have research doc, not just one huge block of content. It's going to be now the complete full article. You can create multiple blocks, you can manage the blocks, you can move them around. So basically, you build in a research doc just like an article.
Got it.
And
Oh,
on
cool.
the
I'm anxious to see how that works.
Yeah, and on the left side, we changed from single SERP result. Now you will be able to query multiple times, as many times as needed. The only one downside is we allow to do it once for free in one research doc, just like it was before.
Right.
We're not taking away anything, so we're just simply adding. Now, if somebody wants to do 2-3 times extra, asking the different way, doing a different search term for to get the SERP results, they will be able to do it just paying an extra credits for extra searches.
Well,
Okay.
that makes sense. I mean, it's kind of like a what if analysis. Oh, geez, what's my
Yeah.
best? Let's do this. Let's do. Oh, that wasn't quite what I wanted. Let me try this. I mean, that's kind of part
Yeah.
and parcel of researching.
Yeah. But also the biggest plus also you can reuse your old searches. So basically, whatever you've done the research before, just open up and assign the oldest previous research doc to the same document that you work in now. So you can
Oh, okay.
reuse your research SERPs results.
All right. So for those SERPs are not the guys who carry the stuff up to the top of Mount Everest, right? That's
No,
Sherpas.
no, yeah. Now, SERP is a search engine results page, basically, if it's translated correctly. For us, as a SERP, is we bring in the top 100 SERP results. We bring in into research doc. And we allow to select the language, we allow to select the country, and we bring those SERPs.
Cool.
Also, we added my links that will be, you can actually select the one that you like, you can add them to my links. So that my links will be like your like favorites, considers like your favorites, what you want to
Oh,
use.
okay. Well,
Okay.
let's see how those work.
All right, let's share a screen and we will go through that. So, but before I will show from inside the article, let me go back to the research page and I will start from there. Okay. So let's do this. So here are the research docs, right? So
Right.
you could see them right now as your search term is listed right here. We added one thing that is showing up right now. That's your description of your research doc. So it's
Oh, that's nice.
not just your research doc name, but also we have a description of research doc. That means exactly what you're trying to do the query for. You can specify yourself.
And
When
that,
you,
when do you specify that?
when you click on the button new, this is the place where you can give your title of your research doc.
Oh, okay.
So title does not, it's not your search term, but the title is basically this is what you're doing research for. So you can provide the short term, short title, longer title, but this is the place where you provide the like more detailed description. So let's do this. I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna say research for say article writing. How about this, right? Oh, writing. I cannot spell now.
Well, you could research cool headphones too.
Okay, so but we can talk about research later. Okay,
Yeah.
so description. So this is a place where I can specify why I'm doing this research. So here, say this research is for finding the best content for content creation and use it for my new article. And you can put here as even the name of the article that you want to use, but basically
Right.
it gives you like more specific description what you are trying to do.
So is there obviously there's going to be a character limit there. Or is there a character limit on your description?
Yeah, I think it's like I don't remember. I think we like kind of
160?
sub 160, 180. I can take a look, but it's reasonable. So you wouldn't want to have that too long.
Right.
So here's a place where now I start doing the research. I gave the research name, and now I'm in a view of the research doc. On the right side, I have a document, which is basically now an article that you will build for your research. You notice here is even the look and feel exactly the same as the article. You have the view. This is your just a name research doc, but everything else is exactly the same as the article. You have a ability to create new blocks. You have ability to preview that your outline. You see the pagination. It will show you how many blocks you have or pages. We call them pages or blocks. And of course, there's the same editor here. Basically, you will build the article, not just one block.
Well, one question here, that is created automatically. Is that correct?
The very first block created automatically. We automatically create and give one exactly the same name. Here it says first page block of research doc. Okay, you are able to change that. So you say first page, whatever, or you could say this one is introduction or whatever. Maybe I can call it intro. So you can change the name, but we just simply by systematically gives you one name, we create one research doc.
Thought you're going to get poetic with me there. First page block of the research doc.
All right, I'll think about it. Now on the left side, so left side, you can see right now we don't show any SERPs yet because you didn't provide the search term yet. You created the research doc name, you give a name. Now if I go back, you can see now, let me just save the changes what I made. You can see now this is the one that I created now, research for article writing, and this one it says here, this is the description of that, so it's easy to understand. Now if I go and try to edit it or go inside, I always use this little icon right here.
Okay, got it.
So now I'm in, so you can see split screen, so you have the data for research doc is right here. So to start a new SERP, you need to click new and give the SERP, your SERP search term for the SERPs. So this is a place where you can give the search term. We also will be adding now the request for Google Scholar. So if you click here, you could see what is this Google Scholar, and actually you can just see scholar.com, .google.com. You can open it up and take a look. This is a different search. It's not for business. It's more for educational, and there is lots of.
Heard of that.
Yeah, it's lots of article. Let's say if I go for writing, let's say if I do this, you can see this even coming up differently. You can see there are lots of PDFs listed as a edu org sites. So this is a different one. We will be adding right now, what you see is ability to do that. So you can just simply request your search directly from there, or you can just simply use the default option here. But Scholar is not ready yet, but we already have a switch there for you.
Gotcha. Okay. Very nice. So when
Yeah.
you type in the data, what are your recommendations there? Should they do a long tail search string? Should they do a single term?
Yeah, good question. Good question. So this here, don't use like short keywords. It's not the place for short keyword. Try to put as best as possible your complete, like an article name. Let's say if you're going to do the article like best content strategies for blog writing. Okay, that's the long. It's actually a name of the article.
Okay.
So use this as like a name of the article and try to get it here, because you can get the closest competitors who will be with you side by side trying to rank for whatever you're writing. Because number one, first thing is you're not going to write just writing strategy. That's not the name of the article. So when your name of the article will be competing with other name of the article in the same category. So the longer you put in here like closely to related to your topic, the better it is. So let's do this the same. Best strategies for content writing. We can put here like this 2021. How about that? So this one is pretty close to what I would want in the article name. So this is my topic, and topic must be relevant to what you're trying to write. So if this one is relevant what you're trying to write, this you can just leave it just like that.
Right.
Here by default we have a United States in English, and by the way we already incorporated ability to define your default settings for country language in settings. You can go to settings and the very first tab in the configurations, you will see that on the bottom will be added country language. So you can select it, we will always use it.
That's nice.
Okay. Now here's a message that provides you a message that's saying here, yes, for the very first SERP that you do for that particular research doc, the count is no credits will be counted. However, the following additional searches if you want to do, then we will use the 3 credits for one SERP request. So let's go and take a look what the SERP will look like after this particular SERP request. Okay.
Ready.
It takes about.
You'll show how it looks. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it takes about to get one SERP, so it takes about roughly between 30 to 40 seconds. So here it is, I got it. So now you could see now it shows me just one bar. Now, in order for you to review this, you just need to click it here and we will expand it in full. That's a difference from what we had before. So it doesn't show up first open. You can basically click and shrink it back again. Okay. And why we did it, I can explain very simply. So you can see the SERP here says this is my SERP, my search term that I set up for this particular request. And you can see here assign and assign. Of course, automatically it assigned to this research doc. And you can see now, if I go on the bottom and I can select now, here is a different, let me just move this one here. Hold on. I can select here all my filters. So you can see if I switch filter to all, I can see other SERPs that I've done in the past. Maybe I can reuse them for this doc, so I can use in the combination with the one I created, which is fine. You can assign as many as you want. Say for example, if I select this one, I can click assign. When I go back now to doc related, now I could see 2 of them here.
Now, does that remove it from the previous document that you had it assigned to? So like
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It remains. You can assign it as many document as you want. The same SERP will appear in multiple documents.
Great.
Okay.
So if you wanted to start your own Wikipedia, you could assign a bunch.
Yeah, you can assign anything. Now, let's take a look now, explore this SERP. So I can expand it. Remember, just clicking on that will expand it in full. And now you could see there is a 4 tabs right here. And we will go over that. And also you have an analyze button right here. So
Okay.
analyze is basically, that's the data parsing. We parse the data for very first group of 10. You could see we have 10 different pages. We
Right.
bring top 100 results. Each page is aggregated 10 results. So if I go on the second page, you can see now second page is another between 11 and 20. And as you can see right now, the arrows, like a little icons here, has disappeared because there is no parsed data yet. In order for me to bring the parsed data on the second page, all I need to do is just click analyze, but we'll do it after. Let me go back now in the first page and I will show you what that means, this arrow right here. Okay. So when I click on this arrow, it will expand it and show you different blocks of the content that we brought in. We take this particular site, we parse the content, we bring it in, and we store it in the different blocks. We pick the blocks based on H2 headers. So we take all this.
Yeah, that was going to ask that, how the blocks were created. So it's the H2 header within the document that you're looking at, correct?
Yes, so each H2 header, whatever in between, we break it down by the H2 blocks. So each block, when you hover over it, you can see it's highlighted like this. So if I want to now to add to my research doc, all I need to do is just simply select it and click on that and we'll add it right here. And as you can see, it added also with the URL that is specifically pointing out where this content came from.
What's that pink, or excuse me, red line down the left? Is that
Okay.
an indication that you've used it?
Yes, exactly. So basically, anytime you use something, if I click here, you can see now I took another one. So as you can see now, we added additional content here. So it added inside. So but I think I click it somewhere in the middle of the content.
Right.
Let me just remove this one here and here. And I just leave it like that for now. And let's build some content quickly, okay? So remember, you're working on the right side with just like an article. You build one block at a time. Make sure you do it, break down your article into blocks. So for that, let's do this. We're gonna open and see, just explore first what other blocks was in other competitor articles. So you can just simply open up like this. You can see, okay, here's 7 content marketing trends. Here's a beginning. Usually if you don't have a header, we just put preamble. You can see it coming up with the image with the like introduction here. So this is like,
pull over the image.
Yeah, now image is easy to pull in. Let's say if I want to add the image here, actually let me do that right in the middle of the text. So anywhere, if I want to add it here, just simply click on that and we'll move the image. So we used to bring just like an icon. Now we fixed that. So now you can just quickly move the images, just like as you see them there. Sometimes images will not be available for not publicly shared. So in this case, we will not bring them in. So you open up here, you read it what you need, and basically you try to build your article on the right from someone else's content. Again, just one note here. We don't do it and we don't recommend at all using research doc as your content. It's not your content. It's the content that you build. It's an article that you build as a research document. A very specific distinction of the article and the research doc. Articles are, that's your content. Research doc is research documentation where you keep all the snippets, you keep all the references, links, images. So you can put anything you want.
Yeah, I've heard that, I've heard the comment content brief. Could this be used to create a content brief?
Yes, it can be, but this is could be a content brief. But again, content brief has slightly different meaning. Basically, content brief will include like maybe some statistics, maybe some questions being asked. They can be also can be used for some software using it as a content brief for providing AI generated content. But basically, AI generated content in this thing is basically no more than spinning someone else's content, right?
Right.
So
Okay.
now you understand the idea. So let's say I created this quick information that I might use. So I add here the specific information I want. I can click save. You can see now the block is being saved by blocks. So if I want to add another block, I just simply add another one and say, okay, why don't I use, let's say I use it on page, say SEO, anything related to on-page SEO, I create a
Right.
block. So when I create a block, this block will be open. Now you can see now block is created. And now let's say if I want to collect some information there, and I can do that very quickly. And let's say I leave it like that. Maybe I can add something else. So it will be,
Yeah. Let me.
yeah.
While you're doing that, let me ask a question because I see that the URL of the source pops in, which is great because you always are able to tell where it comes from.
Yeah.
Is there a way to make that? I'm sure you can just cut and bleep them out so that you don't have.
Yeah, you
content.
let's say you're working on the same article. You don't want to have 100 snippets with 100 same URLs everywhere. So in this case, you just simply turn off this one. It will turn off red. It makes green. I'm sorry, green. This makes it gray. So anytime you click here, it will populate the content, but it will not do. It will not bring the content. It will not bring the link. So as you can see right here.
Cool.
So it shows up here, and we just save this content. So let me just, I've done it right now two separate blocks. So now if I want to see how's my research doc look like, first of all, let's say I want to see the outline. I can click here on this this icon on the bottom. I can see, okay, here's my two different blocks that I created. I can move them around. I can change the places, and I can put them in any sequence I want. And also I can use them in the preview. So when I click on the preview, you can see now here's my my blocks, intra and on page SEO. And as you can see, this being created just like an article.
Oh, before you go, I see a little button down there at the bottom that says view individually.
Oh yeah. Now in the preview, we have this option where you have multiple blocks of content. You can, if you say here is a view individually, you will see only one at a time, and you could have a previous and next buttons here. So you go like this. So you go like step by step to the to review the content instead of one long list.
Cool.
Make sense?
Yeah, it does. I can see a real use for this, or college and high school kids writing a term paper. Usually you're required to do research beforehand. What a fabulous way to do your research, turn it in, and then when you're ready to write your article, you create an article in Blogly and knock out your competition.
Yeah, especially if we have also we have for Scholar and Google Scholar, you basically can write the essays. Not the essay itself, but prepare for the essay. You just have your content, create your research doc, so it helps you to write your own original content. Why? Because we have a research doc always shows up in the assets on left side of your article, and then we go an article and I will show you that.
Sure.
Okay, now I created like a couple extra blocks. Quickly, let me just simply populate with some data. If I open it up here, you can see now I can actually select anything I want here, open it up and preview. Let's say if I like it, I can move it to the right side and just populate with the content. Let's say if I want to bring the whole block, I can just simply use this arrow right here.
Okay.
I just added a couple of them. Let's say save. So if I go back to the different block. You could see now, hold on just a second. Let me just, yeah, I'm in the block 3. Let me just also add some information there as well.
So now, did you turn the link in the upper right-hand corner there to display Content Marketing Institute? Did you turn that back on yourself, or does it automatically turn back on when you go to
Yeah,
a different block?
no, I think I did this, so
Okay,
it doesn't do it automatically. So I think it's so let me just save it for now like this. So let's take a look how it looked like in the preview. So you could see now the intro, block 3, block 4. You could see this was moved to the back. So let's take a look how I can manage it from here. If I click here, you could see how they lay out. So if I take this and I can move this around. Now, if I
right.
click like that, you could see now in the preview it's going to change. You can see now the blocks sequence is changing. So again, you build it just like an article. You create your blocks, you create your outline, and you manage outline from here. And this becomes your research document. Okay.
That's great. Yeah, the other nice thing about it is the interface is so similar throughout that once you master one bit, not that that requires a lot, but once you become comfortable with the article creation space, anything you do in the research is just going to be natural, just like falling off a log.
Yeah, now take a look. This one is, if I open now the third tab, you can see here, if I do not have the content parsed yet, so I can just simply click on analyze, and now the system will go out and grab the content, bring it here, so for you to work with.
Now, I think I recall you saying that you retain, so let's say you go away from this research doc for a month and come back.
No, it will stay. It will stay.
Well, even is it going to retain all the parsed data
Yeah,
for? Okay,
yeah, yeah.
got it. I was
Everything will
under
be
the
retained.
impression it only did it for the first 10, and then to get it back, you just hit the analyze button. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, this is the concept. You build the content quickly. You selecting the blocks you need, and you can see we break down the content in like a smaller chunk, smaller little pieces, like sometimes sentences, sometimes little paragraphs. So you can
right.
just simply click in here. It adds it here. Okay. Now, one thing is this to remember. So first of all, let me just put this one as a nice graph, so I can just add it here. Let me save it. So one thing to remember, that's not only the results that are important, because sometimes the results may not reflect exactly what you need. So in this case, let's say if I go now in the page 1, so in a group of 1. So let's say this particular first URL is not exactly it's not relevant to your search. So in this case, just use this here. Clicking on each side, first of all, you can report the issue, but it's not the issue that's relevant or not. No, report the issue if we don't bring the content. We just you don't see this little triangle here. You can just say, yeah, I want this content maybe brought up with some mistakes. Just let us know. We will
Okay,
respond. Now,
right.
another thing is add to my links. What add to my links is doing is basically taking this content and say, okay, out of all this content, maybe I just want a few of them. Not everything is relevant to me. I can just simply select my competitors kind of in a manual process. I can say, I like this one, but let me take a look. If I click here, I open it, and actually I can do the original. I can take a preview the original results. And now if I go back, and I could say, yeah, this one works for me. Let me just add it to my links. Once I add it to my links and I move on, and this one is not, so I'm not gonna add it. So in this case, I build my own list of contents. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the one I select, the other ones I can ignore. And not only that, let's say if I want to take any content that I find, and let's say if it's an article, I can just simply take the URL and just come in here and say, okay, let me add it. But it happened to be the same. But you want me, let's do this. I'm gonna just say SEO, say for business. let's say if I take any URL that I like and I want to bring in, even though it's not the part of my search, let's
Right.
say do this one. It doesn't matter which one. Let's say this one. 12 reasons why SEO is important. So if I take this blog post, blog URL, and I go back, and this is where the place I can add the link. I can click here, and now you just simply say which exactly, what link do you want to be parsed, and now we'll bring it to next to your
Oh, and
next.
it'll bring in the data as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
and it's not only bring, it parses it as well. Take a look at this.
Wow.
I parsed it all the way completely.
That's
So
fantastic. Yeah.
so you can decide. You can actually, you don't have to rely on this top 100. You can just build your own list. You find your competitors, just add them to my links. The same way, you can also remove them from my links. So you can just simply click here, say, okay, remove. It will remove from my links.
But not from your
Not from your top 100, but if it happened to be brought in extra, which is not your top 100, yeah, then it will be totally removed.
okay.
So you can just simply
That's
say
good to
remove,
know.
it will remove. Now, you understand now that in my links, you build in your own way, custom URLs that you want to compete with. And that's important. So you bring that here. You're not only relying on our results, you just say, okay, I'll feed in some extras. And you just simply set up your own extra links that you want, okay?
Yeah, if you're referencing a particular article or a site or something regularly, what a great place to collect them and
Yeah.
say, oh, this is useful in other articles.
Yes, now let's talk about these two tabs in the middle, and I just cover them quickly. So you click on the questions here. Okay, what we do here? It's just simply letting you we select for you the headers that contains questions. Take a look at those, and I can tell you those are important questions. You can actually build the article. Just simply look in what the other competitors are used in their blogs or articles, what kind of questions they use. Those questions must be important, and if they are, you can first of all you can open them up and look how they answer them. But another thing is, one more thing that you can do. Take a look. There is a two more icon here. Let's say I want to create now a brand new blog, and I just say questions, right? And oops, I cannot write questions.
I have those days every day.
Now, let's say I got the brand new blog, and let's say I want just to take those questions, and instead of just copying and paste them, all I need to do just hover over this. You see this says question being asked, group number 1. That's your first top 10.
Okay.
And just simply click here, and we will populate all the questions for you.
Wow.
And
that is very.
Isn't it gorgeous? Huh? Yeah. So there's one more button here. Take a look. Here's another one, but let me do it from the second one, right? So second one is the same. You run the second one, will give you the totally different, could be the same set of questions, but you can find some differences. See what the people are asking there. Using what kind of questions they use in their blog post.
Right.
So in this case, let's say if I click on this plus, it says, do you want to save change? Of course, because I was in the saving mode. See, this one was adding. I could say yes. Okay. Now it tells me, okay, it will create. I don't even need to create myself. It tells me that here's the blog name is going to be created. Do you want one? I can say yes. I can even change it. But let's say if I don't even change it, I just click OK. And that will create for me the second one. And you can see we already put the question marks here. Now, you want to take a look now how it looks in the preview, right?
Let's see.
How about this? Remember the first one, I just named it as a question. So let me just copy like this. And the second group is here. How about
that? That is outstanding.
So it's quick, it's nice, and just you digging in into the other competition and see what there is. So you put in the questions. Now, can you work with those questions yourself and say, okay, I got the questions from my competitors, but do I use them directly? Well, you don't want to use exactly maybe the same, but maybe use just, you might, but it doesn't matter. But you can build a blog, again, a whole blog just based on questions. See what the others asking and say, okay, maybe I can select this one. And remember, you got the editor on the right? So all you need to do is just say, okay, maybe I can just highlight this one, and maybe I can reuse it when needed. So when you click here and say I'm gonna highlight, and I just click on the highlight. So in this case, you could see then it's been highlighted, and I think I would press on some kind of gray, right?
Yeah.
So this is it. So this was highlighted, maybe meant something for me, or maybe I can just simply add some of my stuff. So this is the full rich text editor. You can do anything you want. You can just write the article yourself. So just remember, it's not limited to only what you put in there. Okay?
That's really nice because it does help you say, what are people asking? What questions resonate with me? What questions do I think I might have a best, I could answer better than other people, so I
Yeah.
can see that. Yeah.
Of course, you can export the document that you created. You can export it as a PDF. That's fine. I mean, nothing new. Anybody can
Right.
create the PDF. You can export it as a text. Okay, yeah, that's exported also as a text. But we also have a shared link. So what the shared link does, right? This is the same. This is our feedback functionality. So let's say I want to call it, okay, if I want to leave it, this is a button as a feedback. It says here share publicly, that's fine. I just do one thing. Here's allow anonymous preview. So you can just click OK. Now watch this. You see in this link right here, right?
Right.
So you take this link, just simply copy this. Now, if you want to set the passcode, just say so. You just turn this here and say, okay, I want to have a passcode so nobody can get in, only the people who are provide the passcode. But let's say now in our case, we just simply take this URL, we just copy that, and now just click OK. Now let me take a look and open now incognito mode. And in incognito mode, I'm just gonna paste this link. Imagine that you send to someone, let someone else review your content, and they can just look at just like that. So whatever content you created, and you can see right here, those are the questions, and these are questions a group asked. So how long it took me to build this? I can build it article in about 15-20,000 keywords easy. Just give me like 20 minutes and I will
Wow.
compile it all, right?
So now when you opened it incognito, is that because you clicked the switch that said incognito, or
No,
did
just
you?
I open incognito just to show that
Oh, okay.
if I would send it to you, because right now there is nothing, it doesn't know any cookies, it doesn't need authorization, just simply in incognito anybody can open this and can see
Got
that.
it.
If I would set up the passcode, you would see that the passcode question here. So you gotta put the passcode before you enter. Now, one more thing here is remember, we do have a feedback. Now, the reason why I set up that we allow allow anonymous. Anonymous, now where the anonymous coming in? Here you see this button skip, right? So
Right.
now, anyone who will try to write you some, try to do the feedback for you, they can just say, okay, they can provide the anonymous, and if you want to force them, just don't select anonymous. Just
Right.
say them, let them put their name. Let's say if I put my name here, I put my email, whatever my email is, whatever, and I could say .com, and I can just click OK, and now you could see the right side is open. So anyone who you send it to, if you ask them for feedback and provide some, no problem. They can use the right portion, click on the feedback, click add new, come up with the title. My title is here some fixes required, for example, right?
Right.
And if I do that, and I can just explain what it is, I can just write some information here. I can attach the images if I needed to.
Wow.
I can do some, let's say, let me do the highlighting here. I can just say, no, this one is important. Let me just do it like this. And I can just say, okay. Now, when this done, take a look. This feedback, where this feedback goes. Now, let me go back now into the article itself. So let's go, not the article, the research doc itself. So this is the top height. This is a research doc we are working on, right?
Okay.
Let me go in, and now we've been sharing with someone this particular research doc.
Right.
So let's go to collaboration, and here we are. Now we have a message from someone saying what kind of, what do they, worry about, or they may give you some feedback. They could be as detailed as they want to. And also you can make this, when you click on this, it will come up. You can actually not only read it, but you can edit it if you want, because this is not exactly like messaging system. It's more like it's for your own needs, what you need to do. But also when you, let's say, if you corrected this, you can just say, okay, let me make it as a result. And you can just add your own stuff here. You can just also say highlight it, say differently. Let's say it's mine or something. And when I saved it, now you could see now it's gone because I made it result. Because if I want to see what result, you can see here's my note that somebody gave me.
So how do you know that you've gotten feedback? Do you have to click on collaboration, or is there some visual indication that you have gotten some feedback from somebody?
Yeah, this is a good question. So I think we will add here right now. Collaboration is still under the additional enhancement. We will have here the like a red dot here indicating that you got some response, and this response need to be covered. So for that, it will be a red dot, but also we will have two things here. We will have issues and messaging system, but right now I don't want to discuss that. That's for the future. But even right now with this current collaboration, I think it's enough information to understand how that can bring the value to you if you want to share and communicate with someone about your content. Okay.
That amazing. Yeah, that's fantastic, because it is. I request feedback from people all the time, so that's a terrific way to send it to them and make it easy for them to.
Yeah. Also remember, we added the notes recently. In the notes we have here, you can add your own notes, right? You can just type, give a name, you just write it, you can save it here, or you can reuse the notes that are previously was done. Let's say if I've done in the other because notes will be shareable across other docs and other articles, so you can find them. Right now we just need to make sure that these are all, they will truly show right now all. Right now this one is will be updated. But now let's say how you use the notes. Okay, whatever notes you have, whatever content you wanna reuse or use or take a snippets of that. So you can do it just by simply, let's say if I want to add it here and just simply add it, I can just click on that one and I will move the whole note here. So you can add like predefined some pieces of content, snippet of content that you need to use, or you use it quite often, or for your reference. You can keep it in the notes and just pop up when you need it and just add into your content. And you click save, now it's done. One more thing that I want to go over with, and I didn't yet finish on for the research SERP itself. So we talk about questions, right? So questions are separated topics, or say subtopics from each article that was there. But also we have statistics. So basically we take the statistics that we find. So if contains any kind of numbers in there, we will bring them in. Of course, we're not as smart as some AI system that trying to pull the data. We just simply go very simple approach. We see the number, we extract a little sentence. So if you want to use this particular one, you can just simply click here and you will add it here. Okay. So this one I just added twice here, right? So let me just.
So basically, what you're saying is if there is a reference in an art, one of your results that has numbers associated with it, then it's going to be put into this category as a statistic, which is kind of nice, because I just finished writing an article today, and it had gobs of statistics, things like 50% of all the blogs in the world are written from the US, and 2.5 million blogs a day are posted to WordPress, so that would show up in here. Very neat.
Yeah, it's you don't have to spend a lot of time. Just simply scan it through that, see what you like. You can just add it here. So this is also could be helpful, right? So remember, results, questions, statistics, my links. They all 4 tabs represent your full SERP for one specific subject.
Wow. Yeah,
When,
that's amazing for research aficionados like me. This really is nice. I love it.
all right. Now, since we discussed this SERPs and we talk about assign and assign, now I can open another SERP and take a look. So it's different, totally different request. You can see that right here, right? So if I use this one, I can just click on this one. So I can use them multiple ones assigned here, and I can unassign them. So let's say if I want to unassign this one, I just click here. It will disappear. Right. So if I go back and forth, now you see here, it's only one left. So I can just keep them assigned whatever I need. Now, that's not all yet about our latest update. Let's talk about the keywords. I think we just quickly go over this. So the concept is this: when you click on now keywords, the right side will change. It will show you the research document, the keyword list. Keyword list is the one that helps you to focus on what the keywords you need to write the article. Now, how we can help with the keywords, okay? First of all, we have autocomplete. We used to have the name LSI, so we changed the LSI keywords into autocomplete. I think it's more representing the true nature of the request. Right. Okay, so let me show you quickly autocomplete. So you take the target keyword and let's say I can put here writing. So let's say now is you don't want to be very detailed and put the long subject. Here's more of the higher level. So you use like a short but keywords that you need, and we will give you the other combination with this keyword. So when you click OK, we go out and we're gonna search all the combinations, and we will provide here is the first top 10 like most popular searches offered by Google. When you go in the Google view and you type it, like writing goes with the writing prompts, writing desk, and now let's say not everything relevant to me. Especially when you go writing and then we'll add the letter A. Letter A gives you all these combinations. Letter B gives you all this combination and so forth. And by the way, we will add also one more thing that we will need to improve, and that's going to be in the next day or two. We will add not only to this letter at the end, we will also try to get it from up front. So we will increase the more of the choices that you will see that right here.
So when you say that, it would be like adding a prefix, the word.
Yeah, if I add the prefix to writing, let me show you here. If I go to Google, and now if I try to put the word writing, right, whatever comes up, prompts, desk, synonym, that's exactly what we have here. Prompts, desk, whatever, right? Yeah, so I may not be in exactly the same sequence, but this is what we will have. But also take a look. If I add now A, it gives me all this combination. If I add B, that gives me this. But let's say if I take this and now put A before that word, and now it gives me different, a writing, a report writing, a writing system, a writing app. So all of this combination is a different combinations, and this is most popular searches that being done by people, and this is given by Google. So exactly what we bring here are those results.
That's very, very cool. I like that. I'm feeling lucky button.
Now, the next thing is this. Of course, this research, we give it for free. So you can try to do your analysis as much as you want. However, the results here like competition, CPC, which is cost per click, volume, and trends, those the ones that we paying to every time that being queried. So now let's say if I want to do this and this word and say this one and that one. Now if I selected those, now I need to click on the get data. We tell you that we will use 0.04 credits. So basically it's a 4/10 of 1 cent for these 4 keywords. So you just simply click OK, and if you're okay with that, we use it, we'll bring it in. We'll get your volume, you get your trends, and you get everything. So what's the ideas? Ideas, we don't want to bring in here all of them all at once, but if you want, of course you can click here and all of them are selected. You can just click get data. You can see now this one is 2.62 credits will be charged. Well, but 2.6 credits, that's 26 cents.
Yeah.
So for
No, I'm just saying that's next to nothing. That was, it's
well, it gives you the 260 keywords right here.
right, which is
260
probably
keywords.
overkill.
Yeah, but you don't need all of them. But you do need some analysis. You do need to know which keyword has what kind of trend is there and what kind of
Right.
volume, and especially also what kind of a competition. So we give you this. We have our sources for SEO, so we bring it in. We'll show it here. Now, if you want to use it, use it. If you don't use it. But what you need to do is you need to build your keyword list. That's important because this is the keyword list that you will be competing with the competition. And your competition will be the next step for us. With the next 2 weeks, we will bring you the here, instead of summary, we will create here a competition view. So we'll allow you to create your SEO heat maps using the keywords that you build. So now popular questions, take a look now. If I do this for popular questions, and now I just going to ask, what was the keyword I asked there? Writing, right?
Writing,
So
yeah.
let's do the writing, right? So if I do this target keyword here, take a look. It brings me totally different results. So those are popular questions that are being brought up by, being provided to us by competitors. Competitors being provided by our providers. So you can see now here's a writing how-to books. Surprisingly, I would never think that this keyword would be even questions, right? So
Yeah.
somebody questioned this writing how-to books. Okay, if this is the one and you like that, say competition could be say low enough, and the volume is actually it's pretty good volume.
Yeah,
We sorted by volume.
20,500.
So
So
you
they're
can
talking about how-to books. So I want to write a how-to book, not how to write a book.
but look as interesting.
Yeah,
See like this one.
yeah.
What is a freelance writing? And this one gives less competition, right?
Right.
And still decent volume. So you don't try to go for the highest volume because most likely you're not gonna compete there. Today is very difficult to compete. If you go for the highest volume, believe me, it's another 1,000 of other competitors from the big companies that are trying to compete for those. So you're
Right.
trying to find the lowest, like a lower volume but longer keywords and trying to go and rank for them. So that's the whole point. Let's say here, how to improve writing skills. Well, not bad. This is like whole sentence here, right? But see, when I click here, it builds my keyword list. This is exactly what we want. You keep building, say, template for writing. So you keep once you put this and something that's relevant to your next blog post. So when you because if you don't want to write about, say, hiring, why you don't need that, right? So in this case, you just get in here, say, well, let me remove this. So I remove this keyword. So you just manage your list here with the next future, your goal in mind that you're going to compete for one particular search term that you used here. And you're gonna write the article, you're gonna select few keywords. You don't want to go too crazy. You don't want to select like 40 keywords and try to put for all 40. Even though you have this here as all and a doc related list, you can see if I click on all, it brings me now the previous keywords that I used.
Yeah,
I keep them there. I keep them there. So if this one is important, I want to keep them there. So, and also I can group them. So let's say right here, if I need to bring the data, I can always say, okay, get the data. If something is, we tell you that if we're charging 0.101 credit, that means it's a 1/10 of 1 cent for keyword. You can just simply say here, okay, we will populate this data there. Okay.
Right.
So this is our strategy, how we actually build our app. We allow you to build your list. You do your keyword analysis. Many people, surprisingly, you really don't need to pay like 50, 60, 80, or $100 a month for this like SEMrush, Ahrefs, or the Kiwi Finder. Do you really need it? Okay, if you need it, yeah, go ahead and do it. Yeah. You're all for it, but many people just don't want to go and pay extra for getting the like analysis for the keywords, and but they still do need this data. You need to know what you want to compete with. You don't want to go for the keyword that have no volume. You don't want to go for the keyword that have too much of the volume. If too much of the volume, that means there's a huge competition. You don't want to go after where and compete with, say, CNN.com. Why you want to go and compete with it? You never beat the Forbes. Why you want to go and compete with
Right.
it? So you select the keywords that are relevant and they are really giving you a chance to compete. So this is the whole point. You build your keyword list. Now let's go one more is the keyword ideas. We're going to explore the keyword ideas. Let's do the same thing here, writing. And you could see each of the section gives you different perspective. So now if popular questions gives you the popular questions, if autocomplete gives you precisely all the autocomplete combinations from the Google, and we bring it in and you decide which one you're going to use, which one you're going to add here. But this one, keyword ideas, gives you just the keyword ideas, sometimes off the mark. And sometimes I don't understand the logic, but sometimes it's really interesting. Who knew this one? Like, take a look. What's this? Read. Why read is there? Tell me. Probably because people just when they try to type, maybe they hit it too early, but apparently the volume is high enough. So be surprised sometimes with some strange combination what you can find.
Well, it could also be a legal term too, if somebody was looking for a writ.
I don't know.
Writ of habeas corpus or something. I think that's the only one I know.
but look at this. How about this? A story writer. Okay, it's good, but yeah, a story writer. Yeah, maybe it's good. See, I added here. But how about this? Memoir examples. Who would never come to my mind that I could use this, but actually it might be good, right?
Yeah.
It depends on what you're writing. So be careful, explore this information. So we bring the 100 different keyword ideas. And again, the first one is given for free. The other two searches on the top, we will add the ability to pay with the credits. 1 credit for 100 keyword ideas here. It will be 1 credit up to popular questions, but the very first time will be included with the research doc.
Wow, very nice. Holy mackerel.
Yeah, so this is it about the research. So you know where we are on the research. Now you know exactly what you need to do. You build an article which is like a research document, and you are building your keyword list, you're using your notes, you collaborate with other people, and then finally we will have in the next 2 weeks we will have the one more tab here instead of summary will be the tab compete. So we will provide you the SEO heat map for all your competitors.
Wow, outstanding. Well, that is kind of mind-boggling.
All right, so yeah, I think I've been already for some time, so we better stop because there's a lot to cover, right?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's an amazing tool, and if you do any research at all, you should be interested in the Blogely solution. I mean,
Yeah, I hope people can understand. There's a lot of comparison going between what the phrase can do, what the other people. There are some I forgot even the name. So I'm not focusing on the competition. We're focusing on the way we want to design it for ourselves.
Well, I think that's right. And the other thing, taking user input and making that part of the development process is that's terrific. So
yeah, thank you. All right, Tom, so thank you very much, and I think we covered a lot of information here, right?
We did, and I hope people open it up with get a cold drink and some popcorn, because you're going to want to sit through this one in full.
Yeah, it's kind of long, but I'm sorry, I apologize for that. It's taking some time, but somebody probably finds this information valuable, right?
I'm sure they will. I did. I learned a lot myself. So thanks, Gennady.
All right.
Have a great
Thank
evening.
you, Tom. Yeah, bye.
Bye.